To God be the glory. So now I'm going to ride from Cherry Valley. Here I'm by the gas station, Shell gas station. And I'm heading over to the mall to get a bus so that I can also go over to my brother's house and mow his lawn, because he and my sister-in-law are in Malaysia, planning to head to Singapore. And I'm having way more fun getting to go mow his lawn, yeah. So let's go for the ride. So join me. I'm right here. But, let's see. I gotta go check the mail. And I'm riding my, that's kind of cool car. I'm riding my Ross Paragon here. Computer is a Cat's Eye Velo 7. I gotta go check the mail. Let's go in between. Pardon me. And there was no mail. So let's go. Okay. Gotta secure my pant leg, my sock. It looks stupid. Looks like that. I don't know if you can see that. Keep it from going into the chain there. I don't want it going in the chain. If you've never been to Cherry Valley, it's a pretty quiet town. I got a log cabin that was moved there from some other location. Here you got the Kishwaukee River. The other side's over there. Wish I could mount this more like something like that or something. You can see my handlebars. But when I mounted it before, my first video, you can go see my first video if you want, but it's pretty choppy. Because I mounted it to this selfie stick, which then I mounted by tie wrap to my bicycle. And it just wasn't secure enough. It was really bouncy. There was an old lady back there riding a bike, the old lady back there in a car. She seemed to be gawking at me like, what is that guy doing? What am I doing? I'm going up a very steep hill at 11.5 miles an hour. Whew. I used to be really excited if I could do that hill at 10 miles an hour. Of course, I'm riding my bike with one hand, or none at all. Let's see. Yeah. How's that look? Here comes a car. The girl. Okay. So what should I talk about, if anything? Something I wouldn't mind knowing, for the few of you who might watch this at first. Do you prefer bike riding videos where the person talks, or just basically a silent ride? I don't really like the silent ride ones, and I especially do not like the ones where they have like music playing in the background. I like the clickety clicks of bike parts. I like to hear the highway. That's over there is the cloverleaf of 39 and maybe Harrison below. also known as 20. Let's see if I can extend you. Now you're up really high. See? You're really high. Going down a very steep hill. Well, somewhat steep. We're on Valley-Woods Drive now. 20.7 miles an hour. 21.4, 21.7, 22.1, and braking. I take it back. We weren't on Valley-Woods. What am I thinking? We're on Tuggle. Now we're on Valley-Woods. What would I know? I only live around here. Hello, Mr. White Dog. Hello, Mr. Doggy. Hey! So now we're coming up on the Swanson Park Tunnel. Swanson Park Tunnel. Right there. It's right there. That's 39. I always think somebody's gonna come flying off that road and come crashing down in here where I'm riding my bike. Slippery when wet. Boy, you better heed that warning. This thing is slimy just about all year round. All that slime right there. You take this corner even slightly quickly and you can easily slide and wipe out. You just lose your traction. It's like ice. In the wintertime, you can still walk through here, but it'll be, 6 inches or so of ice. And it crashes like thunder. But you can still walk through it. And that's the waterway, spillway side. And this is all part of a washway coming from the lake over the hill there. There's two little lakes. And they follow along and are filled up from what's called Madigan Creek. I've traced Madigan Creek at least as far as Woodman's on Perryville, if you're around here, if you know what I'm talking about, in Rockford. So this is Cherry Valley. I've traced it as far as Rockford, Woodman's, and mostly it seems to be spillway for water runoff to the streets. So how you doing? So it's yeah, there's 39. So this is all this waterway here. This is the second lake. It's separated from the first lake. Hi, little gooses and geeses. Hi, guys. By this little creekway. It originally was natural, I think, and then they cemented it over with these weird blocks, and I suppose it spills better because it seems to be more open than it used to be. And there's the Great Archway, the bridge they built here. And up ahead is the other lake, the first lake. And this is all fed from that little creek that floods. Oh, like if you're driving north on Perryville, or sometimes south, on either side of the road, that creek you see, the waterway that floods, that a lot of times spills into this area. It fills this lake. So it's probably not the most ideal clean water. I don't remember seeing that peninsula out there before, that sand peninsula. This is all new over here, this building. It's the new Cherry Valley Public Works building. You'll see in a second better. Right there. And this is a little parkette they built. It's kind of like a mini park. It's got a bicycle hookup, that's nice. And people like to walk around this lake because there's paths through here. I just took one path. There's another one. This here is the old Menards off of Harrison. It was right next to the mall. And now it's Collier RV. Hey, there's a bicyclist. I don't know if you can see him. Way up there. There's a guy riding a bike with a kid and a bike trailer. And I think he's got a mole on his left ear. Yeah. He's way up there. Whoa. Oh, man, that was close. I couldn't hear this car coming. And normally I brake right there and my mind was on something else. And I reached for my brake, but it's actually slightly raining out. just barely, and I guess my brakes must have gotten wet. So when I reached for my brake, which is hard to do with just one hand, the way I was sitting, or whatever, the brake slid, but not disc. There's these little rubber guys there, and they slid, and I just kept going. But that woman was turning. I'll tell you, you gotta wear a helmet. You should wear a helmet. I don't wear mine real tight because I get headaches from tight hats and things like that. And but lately I got into the habit of wearing a helmet, and it feels cool when you get off your bicycle in some store. Take off your helmet and then strap it to your backpack. I don't know. It's like you feel like you're a bike messenger or something, and living by proxy. It's a lot of fun. I think this right here is a natural spring underneath there, because it doesn't matter when. It could be summer, blazing hot out, and that thing seems to be always flooded, coming water out of there. I don't know how it is in your town, your country, but there it's telling me to stop. Now when it does tell me to go, it will also tell what? The guy right here that he can go. There it says go. And I almost got hit one time right through here. Because at the corners, when it tells you to go, it often tells the person turning they can go as well, and it's trouble. I'm actually gonna get off the path now, get onto the main road, because I need some change for a bus. And I missed the bus at 1:30, so I gotta take the 2. It is, for those who want to know, to leave Cherry Valley, it's $1.75. They charge an extra quarter to come out here. But in Rockford, it's $1.50. And you can ride the bus for quite a while. You can, if you go to a transfer station, they'll give you a transfer ticket at the front, and you can actually just get off your bike, put your bike on the front end of the bus, take your ticket, swipe it, and just keep riding. So you can go, 2 or 3 buses if you have to get somewhere. Normally it's just gonna be one bus, but it depends on where you want to go. We're gonna go green, and I'm signaling with the camera out to my side. Signaling right. I signal sometimes, other times I don't. It just depends on whether there's lots of traffic and whether or not I feel like it's safe to signal, or if I need to keep my hands on the steering wheel, handlebars, whatever. How you doing? I plan to spend life behind bars. These ones. Thanks. Lady yielded for me. Let's see. Where should I go? I think we'll turn left. I'm gonna run to Taco Bell, I think. Get a little snack. Whoa! Got one to the right and the left. Suddenly at the same time. It's a good thing I'm a master bicyclist. Did you hear about Sean Connery the other day? He dropped a book on his head and he can only blame his shelf. That's a joke. Come on, guys. We're having the grand opening here of the Taco Bell. They had a more modern, updated look, and then they closed the place literally down completely. You couldn't go through the drive-thru. You couldn't eat inside. Hello. And at first you could still go through the drive-thru. Then they closed everything down, and they've remodeled inside. From what I've seen from the outside, it looks exactly the same virtually. But I guess we'll take a look. Well, I will. I don't know if I'll take you in there, but you can imagine. I don't know how they'd feel about some guy coming in here with a camera. Oh, you're trying to steal our secrets. They don't have a bike rack as yet, so if you live around here and you ride a bike, call them up or something and say, hey, get a bike rack. Because otherwise, I connect to this guy here. See you later. Wow, wow, wow. My brain is on dumb today. I did something I don't know if I've ever done before. Maybe once, years ago. I went into Taco Bell and forgot to chain up my bike. And then I left Taco Bell because I went over here to Dairy Queen for a second to ask them some questions to see if their Wi-Fi was okay. So I've been thinking about trying to go there sometime and use Wi-Fi with my laptop. So I even left my bicycle unchained and went over there. Genius! That's rare for me. It's really strange. Let's see, it's 2:04. I got about half an hour, 26 minutes to go before the bus comes. Well, I went in the lobby. To be honest, I don't think it was worth the change. They got rid of most of the seats that they used to have that were kind of like high chairs, booster seats, whatever you want to call them. Bar chairs, whatever they want to call them. The tall ones. And they got new ones that look less secure to me. They don't look nearly as safe. So the old people are going to sit in the short, safe chairs. Middle-aged people may reject them too, just because they're so high. Stop. And you'll just end up with a bunch of teenagers and stuff and young kids. Can I take this little guy here? Who want to sit up high or okay with it. It just doesn't make sense. So, there was a person I saw recently, I know this is off topic, who is a girl. And she's dressed like a guy. I thought, well, maybe she's just kind of tomboyish. But after a while, you could kind of tell she was a transvestite. Transgender, as they like to say now. Politically correct. No one is transgender. You're male or you're female. You can't be both. Trans, you can't be in the middle. You're either, because biologically you can't be. Something is dominant. So, recently I noticed she started looking more masculine. And then I think her voice started changing. But I went in there today, and at first I didn't even recognize her. You got any for me? It's like a Brinks type truck. Well, nothing for me today. Today I saw her, and I almost didn't recognize her. She looked so much like a guy. She had facial hair growing, and her voice was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Almost not as deep as mine, but pretty close. Now wait a minute. If I speak as a Christian, people will bawl me out, right? You hate them because you don't agree. And if you don't agree, you automatically hate. Just like when a parent reprimands its child, that means it hates the child. And then they'll say, well, now you're comparing them to children. Oh, the tragedy. The tragedy. The tragedy. Okay. So, people get mad at me if I speak as a Christian. Let's just speak naturalistically. If you are born a female, but you gender identify as a male, so you get male treatment, male hormones, and then you think you're male, and you're not. Number one, before you take the gender treatment hormones, there are certain medications that are for men only, certain medications for women only. I wonder how it affects these people. Can they take, if they're born a female but they identify as a male, can they take male drugs? Will their doctor let them? The other question, this is just a fair, naturalistic question. If you are physically born a female or physically born a male, but you identify as a dolphin or a whale or whatever, male or female, if you identify as something other than what you are, then why don't you take hormones for your body that match your body. If you're a female, but you identify as a male, then take female hormones. And pretty soon you'll identify as a female. I mean, logically. If it was not a thing of the heart. I think it's a thing of the heart. Hello. Why don't they just... I jumped off here. This is my bus stop. Why don't they just take the hormones that would make their feelings match their body? Because feelings change all the time. I mean, caffeine can make you feel terrified, panic attacks. You know, does that mean you identify as a scared person? No. You just need to quit taking caffeine. My bus stop. Well, if you're born physically a female but you feel male, well, if it's purely a hormonal issue, let's leave the spiritual out of it for right now. Let's just say it's just a physical issue. Well, then you correct the physical problem. You know, if you're weak and you pass out, you might be anemic. Therefore, you take iron. You don't embrace anemia. I identify as anemic. I must have a parade and my own flag, which is like, they have what they call the rainbow flag. It's not the rainbow flag. It's only got 6 colors. Rainbow is 7. Perfection, God. They have 6, which is imperfection in the Bible. At least, well, we consider it to be the 6th the number of imperfection. So, if you're a dwarf and they find a cure for dwarfism, it doesn't make sense to embrace dwarfism because it is limiting. Whether you like it or not, it's limiting. Blindness is limiting. Deafness is limiting. Stupidity is limiting. There's a lot of things that are limiting that if you could get away with it, you could go without it, I'd like to fly. It's limiting to not be able to fly. So you embrace the weakness? No. You treat it. But I don't think it's a hormonal issue that they need hormones. I mean, maybe in some instances they do, but I think it's spiritual, most of it. But I got some time here to kill until that bus comes. See you later. I'm riding on a Ross Paragon. I don't know exactly what year it was made. I would guess the 80s. The seat is in awesome condition. I let it stay looking nasty like that because, hey, who wants to steal a bike with a nasty seat? I mean, I'm sure people would, but anything that can help make it look nasty is less likely to get stolen, even though I normally chain it up. I have added reflecting tape right here, and then this is actually glow-in-the-dark tape. If I am out riding at night, even though I do use lights, if I'm out at night and I happen to stop by a light or something like that, or be in the light somewhere, it'll charge it up, and that thing glows, especially if you can find like a spotlight, trying to spotlight a flag or something like that, and you walk up to it, or you put your bicycle up near that, any kind of a spotlight like that on a business or something like that, hold it there for a few seconds. Oh man, they'll see you coming miles away. Then I'm using my JanSport bicycling bag. I'm calling it a bicycling bag. It's just a backpack, but I just really, really like it. I've carried incredibly heavy loads in there, and it hasn't failed me yet. I think I'm going to try something new. Put the selfie stick in the little side pouch, connected this point to it, then tied this little cable that comes with a selfie stick so you can click the button and take a picture of yourself. It's a remote shutter. Tied it to this. I'm going to try mounting it on my back like that, and then see how the next video looks when I get on board the bus. It'll be mounted up by my face, I think. So then I've got the Cat Eye Velo 7 computer. The clock is wrong by about 15 minutes. I have to adjust it. And then I'm using a Bell 2 LED, I think it's called Pharos, front light, and the same for the rear, just a normal chain. I've also got one of these things I bought from Dick's. I think in another video I mentioned how I got this from Dick's. And it's something like a U-lock, and it expands. The bottle I don't use. I just use it for, I don't use it for drinking. I just use it for collecting metal on the bike path. So hopefully somebody doesn't get a flat. And then I also carry, but I've not used yet, I carry a little MP3 speaker in there so I can listen to music, but I haven't done that yet. Then I've got a solar light, but I kind of wonder if I got too wet, unless it just hasn't been charging lately. A lot of times it faces down, but it used to charge and now it won't light up, so I'll either take it apart or maybe I just need to charge it if it's been facing down too long. Now I'm just waiting for the bus. It's the 2:30 bus. It's like 2:30 right now. 2:30. 2:31. So, hi. I don't know what brand this is. Bell. I got this for like $20 at MC Sports when it was going out of business. Yeah. So yeah, I may have mentioned this in another video, but it's free to take your bicycle on board Rockford buses and I think Chicago too. And you can carry up to 2 bicycles per bus. Out of courtesy, I put mine in the back slot so that the next guy can put his up front. But you're responsible to make sure it connects properly, otherwise if that thing goes flying underneath the bus, which I guess it's done before, that's your problem. So the way to do it is there's a little handle and you lift up the handle and lower down the device, put your bicycle up there, and then there's a U shape and you stretch that out. It's got like a spring system. You stretch it out, lift it, and drop it on top of your wheel. I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, but drop it up right about here on the front of your bike. And that's how it holds on. Yeah, that's how it holds on to a bike. It doesn't always feel like it's going to keep it, but it does. I've used it lots of times. I'm wanting to go to Elgin, or probably more likely Harvard, and take a bicycle with me to go to Chicago and take it on Metro. It's free to do that too. And each train car you can put in, I don't know how many, 7 or something like that, I forget. And then other than certain hours you can't take a bike, but most of the time I think you can. And so I'd like to do that, and then I'm actually considering mounting my bicycle on my motorcycle and taking that to Harvard. So I've been trying to think about how I do that. There comes the bus way down there. I might mount it to the bar in the back of my motorcycle with paracord. So like my motorcycle's like this, the bicycle mounts sideways. That's how I do it. This guy's like, what's that lunatic talking to himself for? Because I'm crazy. There goes the bus. So it's time to go out there and stand. It's $1.75 at this location because I'm still in Cherry Valley. But anything north of, I want to say East State. When you're on Bell School, anything north of East State, I think, is $1.50. And south is $1.75. West end. Oh yeah, I've also got a belt. I bought a lot of this stuff for this bike. for like $1 at Dick's Sporting Goods. Get stuff for $1. I got the bell, I think, for it's either $1 or 50 cents. Got that expanding U-lock type thing. That was 97 cents, I think. So here's the device. You want to make sure that they see you. Get on the back with it. Put this up here. Waiting for somebody to say. Wow, it's like water inside that bus. What else? They rammed into something.
Thank you. Thank you.
I drive very defensively. Get ready to get off the bus. Sloshy wet day. Bye. Okay. Okay, so I went on board that bus and transferred over to another bus in the rain. And let me see if I can adjust this camera. Yeah. Okay. And I didn't want to turn the camera back on in the rain, and the first lady I got on the bus with didn't want to be on camera. So I told her I'd edit that part out, because she said she wasn't photogenic. So, went over to my brother's place, and it's raining so badly I just couldn't mow. So, it just now quit a little bit ago, but it's still kind of stormy sky. It's been sprinkling a little bit off and on. I travel in the back alleys alongside Riverside, East Riverside, just before the river. Hi.
Hi.
YouTube video. So, they were looking at me like, at least the guy was, what's that guy doing? Why is he holding the camera out? You see, the screen is facing away from me. So he's probably like, what is he doing? But I'm heading over to a shop on North 2nd. And now I'm on, what is this stuff? Wilson Avenue and River Park. Go up there. So, let's turn you around. As this car passes. I don't like the videos where like everybody's always showing their face and just, I'm so famous, hey, everybody wants to see me. turn this bad boy around. There we go. Let's see if we can bring this back, fly upside down. Now I think I can cut through here. I'm thinking, I've done this before. Doesn't say anything about bicycles. There's nobody here. I imagine it's not a problem. School's out for the year, I think. See, this is May 26th, I think? Something like that. Oh, no. There's one over there. I just have to double back a little bit. Wait a minute, I've never seen this corner. Say! I've never been this way. I've always cut through that fence over there. I've never been this way. Oh. Well, if I wake up with my kidneys missing, we'll know it wasn't a good idea. And fire department. Yeah, this is cool. This is just about where I want to go. Yep, pretty close. So, I think I'll end this video for now. Coming up on North 2nd. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate comments too. Any ideas for another stories? Or I'm not going there. Any other ideas for stories or anything like that? Let me know. Thank you. And as soon as I get over here, I'm going to stop the film. Bye. I said bye. This thing is not responding.